Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Stats That Exist But Do Not Matter. It is episode 94. It is brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook, and if you couldn't tell already, my voice is a little hoarse. I'm feeling a little bit down in the dumps after screaming for my Giants on Sunday. I'm not feeling sexy, but you know who was feeling sexy? Jake on an average well-dressed Wednesday. No, these baseball players who got to sponsor underwear. We're talking about the underwear edition of Stats That Exist But Do Not Matter. You guys have been asking for it forever. We're finally going to give it to you, and we're going to kick it off with Sergio Romo. Do you guys remember when they were finally cracking down on sticky stuff from pitchers? And Sergio Romo was one of the first guys that got busted. He proceeded to strip his pants, basically unbuckle the belt and just take everything off. It turned out to be a very lucrative moment for Sergio Romo because he received a care package from Saks Underwear after the fact. They paid for his fine and gifted him 365 pairs of underwear. I don't think he needed that many, but it turned out to be a pretty good decision from Sergio Romo, so good for him. But that's far too recent. Let's take it back to the 1970s and tell you about the underwear pioneer in baseball. That's Baltimore Orioles legend Jim Palmer. He had a long-standing relationship with Jockey, and it was well documented. You can check out those pictures if you really want to. It began as a group campaign for all athletes stripped down in 1976, but then by the next year, it kind of became a one-man show. Jim Palmer kind of stole the spotlight, and for good reason. I mean, check out these covers, guys. Come on. But he wasn't the only Jockey-sponsored baseball player, believe it or not. Madison Bumgarner, who has a last name built for butts and underwear, was actually an underwear model as well. During the 2014 World Series, Jockey was on the ground in San Francisco distributing underwear that said Mad Bum in large letters across the butt, because of course they were. Whoever was the advertising genius behind that, I want to meet you and shake your hand. They did, however, use his nickname without permission, which if you've met Mad Bum and interacted with him, is probably a risky decision, but you know what? That's how you make the big bucks. You take the risks. I respect it. But then later on, they signed Bumgarner as a brand endorser. He was named the World Series MVP after the greatest performance in World Series history, and it all worked out with impeccable timing. I really have come to respect Jockey from reading the script. Let's keep it going with Jockey, and let's talk about the first family group advertising moment. What? How does that make any sense? That's pretty weird. Well, you know who was pretty weird? The guy that was focused in it, Yogi Berra, with his impeccable quotes. Him and his sons Dale, Tim, and Larry were featured in a Jockey commercial, and that year, he led my Mets as the manager to the Fall Classic in 1973, and it was all because of his Jockey underwear. There's no other explanation. But as we know, underwear marketing campaigns can go international as well. I'm going to keep it with another Met here. Tsuyoshi Shinjo became the face of Japanese underwear, Body Wild. What a name. He had a very brief 3-year MLB career, but he accomplished many things, including in 2001, he was the first Japanese-born position player to play in the National League. Good for him. But more importantly, after retiring from Japanese professional baseball, he considered a career move into nude modeling. He never did go full Monty, but he did have a brief stint modeling underwear, which of course fits into our episode today. He went on to become the face of Body Wild, the underwear company, and eventually developed his own clothing line. Good for the legend himself. Tsuyoshi Shinjo bet on himself, and you should bet on yourself as well with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Today's sponsor for Stats That Exist But Do Not Matter. Guys, I said it before, my voice is gone because of the New York Giants. It's going to get worse this weekend when we play the Eagles, and I'm placing more bets on them to go all the way, and you can too using their great and easy-to-use mobile app. They're the official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly at the DraftKings Sportsbook, plus all new and existing customers can take a shot at an even bigger payout with their stepped-up same-game parlays. Boost your NFL winnings with each leg you add up to 100%. Download their easy-to-use app now and use code STATS, and you can take advantage of this deal today. $5 on any NFL divisional round bet and $200 in bonus bets instantly only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with code STATS. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Thank you to them for sponsoring today's episode, and thank you to you guys for listening to my TED Talk on MLB players wearing underwear. We'll see you next week for another episode.